Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. For those of you that are new, thanks for joining us. And for those of you who have been following me for quite some time and joining us again, thank you. This is an opportunity for me to bring you up to speed on what has changed with our business lately. There's been a lot of changes in the last 3 years, and I kind of want to let everybody know how we've evolved. Now, talking about evolution, I started about 35, almost 40 years ago in construction. And things have definitely changed over the last 3 decades. A lot of you will know me from 25 years ago on, starting with Cityline and then working on with Marilyn on the Marilyn Dennis Show. That was a great opportunity for me to educate all the viewers, bring kind of cool products to their attention, give them a view on what we do before and after, some great projects, and just really working and using that platform to build a brand. It was a great opportunity. I value that opportunity. I thank Marilyn for providing that opportunity for me over the years. And it's made us a known name, which is important. That doesn't come lightly, because when people have that understanding of you and that expectation of you, you need to meet that expectation on an ongoing basis. And we're very serious about that. Now, I started almost 3 decades ago in the commercial world. And I used to do commercial spaces, commercial renovations, mostly interior fit outs. And as the market changed in the late 80s, I shifted into residential, primarily in renovations. And I loved doing renovations. Did some really difficult ones over the years, and you just continually get better at it. It's a very tough, it's a tough gig, renovation, I'll tell you. It's a lot easier building a house from scratch than to renovate an existing one. You're not only acquiring somebody else's mistakes, but also challenges with space planning and things like that. You really got to work hard to create good spaces out of bad. But I loved that challenge over the years, and it really was a great source of information and knowledge and experience for me. We've evolved. We've evolved out of necessity in doing renovations over the years. I found a great need for doing design in-house, and I had a passion for design, but I always shied away from it. But I really worked at that and grew that side of the business, and we started doing design in-house, and we were doing our construction in-house. And I've always really kept a real tight hand on what we do, because maintaining our level of quality and what we do on site is really important to me. I don't want to lose that connection where I just become a project manager, send people to the job sites to do the work, and then there's all these gray areas that don't get addressed, and they become the problem of the client. So my goal, probably I'm going to say in the early 2000s, was to become a design build firm. And the reason for that is because I saw the challenges in the market. I saw the problems. I saw that massive gray area where the contractor was at this end, the designer was at this end, and the client found themselves in this middle ground where these two people constantly pointed fingers at each other, and the client had to carry the burden of all the problems. And I swore that my business would never do that. There'd be one person to point a finger at, and that would be me, and I'd be accountable for everything, which kept us determined to make sure we cross every T and dot every I. And we've grown for 3 decades with that in mind, and it's really important. Now, going on with necessity and the need for doing more, well, I had my own cabinet shop. We developed a decor side to our business. So not only did we design, we built, we did decor, and now over the years there's been another thing that's happened that's created more demand for this last component I'll tell you about. But going back to a cabinet shop, I closed my shop probably about 18 years ago, and I regret it. So much so that we're looking at starting our shop again, because a lot of what we design is so custom, so detailed, that it needs to be fabricated with a lot of design thought and a lot of cohesiveness in that, from that design process to the fabrication process. Having your own shop, to be able to be in there, knowing your own team and what they do and what they're capable of, that's important. Sourcing it out, you're always at the mercy of what's happening in the other business. Is their workforce changing? Are they having problems in their businesses? Whatever happens there can essentially affect us, and we don't want that. Now, over the years, since I've known Marilyn, over the years, I've done a lot of projects for her. I've done some renovations for her. But about 15 years ago, I helped her out with building her new house. And over the years that she's lived in there, we've probably been in there maybe a dozen times a year. There's always a list. Marilyn would create a list, and I'd send the guys down, or I'd go down myself. We take care of the list, a little bit of caulking here, a little touch-up painting there. You know, this stone is coming up outside, or this is shifted, or there's some roots coming up. It was constant maintenance, and that's okay. It was just day-to-day stuff. We all have it in every house. The only difference is we all ignore it. We ignore it till it becomes a problem. Now, I guess it was about a year and a half ago, we were in there again doing some touch-ups, and I stood back and I looked at this house and I thought, my God, this house looks as good today as it did the day we built it. And the light bulb went off for a few of us, and we just thought, you know what, if we did this for every client, went in there on a quarterly basis, inspected things, checked things, touched up a few things, don't let things get bad to the point of falling apart, the house will continue to function well, and it's probably the biggest asset they have, and we maintain it for them and ensure the value of that asset is kept. So recently we added the aftercare service to every project that we do. So when we build a house or we do a reno, the client gets the aftercare service for the first year, and then they continue to pay for that on a yearly basis after that. But it gives us a chance to make sure that everything is taken care of. This has nothing to do with the warranty that we offer. Things that are warranted, that's not an issue. This is just to make sure that all that daily wear and tear that happens to a house, it doesn't break it apart. And that's really important. So that's one of the new things. So we're now this entity that does the design in-house. The vision starts there. All the drawings are done in this office. The construction is done with our team, some by our own guys, a lot by our sub-trades, which have been working with us for many, many years. Then it goes on to completing the decor aspect, which is again put together in this house here in this office. And then our aftercare service, which ensures that everything maintains its pristine look and condition for years to come. So when we talk about design build, to me, that's what it needs to be. Where clients have no stress, no headache, they know what they're gonna get, they know what they're gonna pay for what they're gonna get, and they know it's taken care of afterwards. Now I wanna talk about some of the issues with knowing what you're gonna get and what you're gonna pay for what you get. And this is another big problem with regards to construction. People are used to asking for quotes. You know, when people want to start a renovation, they call in 3 or 4 contractors, they get 3 quotes, and they get 3 or 4 prices, and their head starts spinning because they can't make heads or tails of things. One is you know, 100,000, the other one's 150, the other one's 250, all for the same job. Mainly because nobody has a reference point. Nobody understands, well, what am I doing? The client just said they want a kitchen, they want to change the floor, but nobody knows what's going in there. That's the reason we developed the necessity for creating really detailed drawings. So when you look at our drawings, we spend a lot of time detailing the drawings. Every elevation, every plan, every section details materials, finishes, how it's built, how it's done, what materials there are. There is absolutely no question when you look at our drawings as to what the cost of that should be. And this is the precursor to developing a proper estimate for a job, which is a step that most people skip. So whether you hire a designer, let's say you hire Khachi to design your package, that then gives you a product in hand where you hand out to people to quote, and then their quotes should come back relating to that project with exactly the details that are in that project. So when one is 100,000, the other is 200,000, the question gets asked, why is that 100,000 or why is that 200,000? Did the $100,000 quote forget a bunch of stuff, or did the $200,000 quote get so afraid of what they're building that they just put a oh my gosh factor and double the price? So it gives a client a good basis to evaluate all the quotes. That's really important. Second to that, every business is in business to stay in business, as are we. This ensures that we have the outline set, we know exactly what we're going to build, we know exactly what the client is going to pay, and we know exactly how we're going to build it and stay accountable and stay within our budgets. So it enables us to manage our projects and our budgets properly as well, and we also are able to then build it exactly the way we envision it to be. So one of the benefits to being full design build and having everything done in one place is that when the team has questions, the questions get answered right here. The designers are often on site and back and forth. The team is often in the office. So if there's any question as to interpretation, well, the answers are right here. So the project keeps moving on. There's no stopping. There's no need to call people and say, well, we got to wait for somebody to come down here. No, we answer our own questions and we keep rolling. And that's a really important element. The fact that I've spent 30 years plus in being on top of the new products, traveling, going to trade shows, finding the latest things, and also working with manufacturers in the way of fabrication techniques and products has enabled us to become somewhat of an expert in detail. And that really helps in us producing our drawings and designing our products. Now, having said all that, let's talk about where Khachi Design Build is going. And this is where it's really exciting. The renovation aspect is in our DNA. We're never going to give that up. That is the one component I absolutely love. It is probably the hardest business to be in. You're acquiring people's problems, mistakes from the past, and you're fixing them to produce something amazing moving forward. But our focus is really shifted. It has shifted in the last 5 years to more of a design build of new construction, so new homes. We're doing more and more new homes now. We're doing more and more design build homes right down to the decor. And we're also keeping a hand in specialty commercial projects. So what's coming down the pipe? Currently, we're working on an amazing commercial project in Burlington. It's for one of our clients who actually we've been doing business with on an ongoing basis for years. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because you'll see this project come together and it's going to be phenomenal. But what we have designed is just out of this world. I love it. It's been so much fun. And we're starting the construction probably in the next month or so. And I'm going to be heavily involved in that project, and the results are going to be amazing. I can't wait. We're starting a really cool custom home project in Etobicoke. That has come about actually in an interesting way. We started actually with that. I have to thank Marilyn for this because I was on her show and I featured my garage that I did at my new house. And this person that's building a house or wanted to build a house in Etobicoke saw this garage and called us out and said, listen, I want you to design my garage. I'm building my custom home and I want you to design my garage. I want it just like yours. So we went down this road of designing this garage. We did a complete design. We had some meetings with them to understand what they want, designed this garage, did some beautiful renderings. It's going to look amazing. It is inspired by my own garage because they loved every aspect of it and they wanted it to be very much the same. And then that kind of translated to, hey, by the way, can you design the gym in the basement? That's my wife's space and we want a really cool gym. So we designed the gym, same process. We designed the space and it turned out amazing. Through this process, they had just started the construction, so the shell was up. And the gentleman asked me for a favor. He said, listen, can I ask you a favor? Can you have a look at our design package and let me know what you think? And I said, sure, I'm happy to do that. So I had the files sent over here. We printed them and I started looking through them. And in speaking with this client, it became clear to me that he's a hardworking man and he's got a family and he's got kids and his dream is to build this dream home for his family. And that's the end goal here. He just wanted this dream home. And it became clear to me that this is not going to be his dream home. He's going to get let down. He's not going to be happy. I went through all the details of the design package or lack thereof. And I said, listen, can you come in? I'm going to go through things with you. And I sat down and I went through 300 pages of this design package with him and made him realize that you're not really getting what you think you're getting and what you hope you're going to get. And there's so many things that are unknown that really adds to this aspect of you don't know what you're going to end up with. And that's the problem with an incomplete or a poorly done design package. And I at this point, by now, in dealing with him for probably a couple of months, I found that we had a good relationship. I consider him a friend now, and I just felt bad. And I said, you know what? I don't do this ever, but if you need my help, I'm here to help you. If you need me to redo this design package, I'll do it. And if you even need me to take over the build and build this house for you, I will do it. I think it was 3 days he called me back. He said, you know what? I'm firing everybody, and I want you to do a design package, and I wanted you to take over this build. The reason I did that is because I saw him going down this wrong road where people were going to take advantage of him, and he was going to be unhappy, he was going to spend a lot of money, and he's not going to get what he wants. And that's not right. When it comes to building new homes, everybody in the industry likes to do cost plus because there's no risk to the builder, zero. I'll just build it and you keep paying a fee to me, and that's the way we run. So he was getting bills for a ladder here, extension cord there, lights here, you know, everything. It's like everybody's just starting their business and billing the client for everything. Lumber, this, that, whatever. And he doesn't even know if those 2x4s are actually ending up in his house, and he's just paying the bills. So it was really, I think he was at the start of going down a really bad road. And he fired everybody. And we've basically spent now 3 months fixing problems on the current framing, getting it up to a place where we can carry on. We're not even there yet. We've been working for 3 months now, doing a design package that is very detailed, very in-depth, taking into consideration every item on their wish list. And we're actually presenting next week to him with renderings to show him and her the vision for the house. What every room is going to look like, what all the finishes are. There's going to be, this table's going to be full of finishes, and we walk through so people can get a sense of how the house flows, how the materials flow from space to space, how the drawings indicate all the details of where every receptacle is, where the switches are, how you walk around, and what walls have what detail on them, what materials. It's just so much that goes into building a house. But with that design package, we are then able to provide him a fixed cost for the build. Whether you want to go cost plus or fixed cost, there is no problem either way. What I say to people is if you're going to go with a cost plus scenario, make sure that you trust each other really well. Because a cost plus scenario, if there's not a great deal of trust between two people, it leaves room for somebody to take advantage of someone. But if you have that trust, if you have that transparency, it is a good way to go. Again, as long as you have a good, robust, comprehensive design package. So everybody has a roadmap. They know exactly where they're going. The goal with Cost Plus is to do a good job. There is no incentive to brush dirt under the rug. So the goal for everybody is to do a good job. But you still want to be held accountable. And the drawing package holds everybody accountable. I often equate a good drawing package to, you know, if you want to take a trip down south, if you follow the sun, you'll eventually get there, but you'll take a lot of meandering roads, and you'll waste a lot of gas. You'll burn a lot of gas. But if you plan it out and you say, I'm going to go straight down this highway, straight down that highway, and get there, you'll get there more efficiently. And that's really all it is. That's what a good design package is your roadmap. A fixed cost, obviously the contractor takes all the responsibility in that. There is some element of risk, and the fees will reflect that. But if somebody wants to budget their life really well and say, listen, I just want to know what it's going to cost, I don't want any extras. The design package is comprehensive and full. There's no need for extras unless I change my mind on something. If I decide I want a steam bath, I know I got to pay for a steam bath, but everything else has been accounted for. So on a fixed cost basis, this works with a small contingency. And there's absolutely no reason to have extras if your design package is comprehensive. So anyways, we are actually ready to embark on this custom build. We've got a few custom builds coming down the pipe in Oakville. We're excited for those as well. We're working on the design packages for those. So our business is growing, our workforce is growing, our team is growing, and our project complexities are growing. The size of the project is irrelevant to us. I don't care if it's a renovation, a new build, everybody gets treated the same, the quality is the same, the execution is the same, the after sales is the same, doesn't matter. It's about how we do business, and that's what the standard is, and that's what the standard has to be. Every project for us is a good project. We love construction. We love our process because it results in fantastic products in the end. So that's the update. That's what Khachi Design Build is all about. That's where we're going. We're downtown Oakville on Trafalgar, so if anybody wants to come in and see us, drop in anytime. The team's always here. We're working in and out of here. Our shop is in North Oakville. We hope to grow that even further. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up. So moving forward, Jordan is one of the team members that's managing all our social media and our marketing, and he's going to make sure that these videos are up to date and they're constantly up there so you can keep up on our projects, so you can see what's going on. You can follow this custom build that we're about to start. It's going to be a beautiful house. There's going to be a lot of cool details in there, and we're actually excited to embark on that. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the next one.